Heard. With no one stepping forward, we will move on to the consent agenda. Is there a council member that would like to remove an item from the consent agenda? I would entertain a motion. So moved.
Second.
Motion Freeman, second Harrison, that we approve the consent agenda. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. New business item number 1. Consider adoption of ordinance number, do we have an ordinance number yet?
2437.
Ordinance number 2437 for the annexation of real property on which the easement for the Waverly Road sanitary sewer lift station is located.
Mayor and members of council, I have a brief presentation.
Evening, Mike.
Slide 2 is a map showing the location of the lift station be annexed in relation to the Bull Creek wastewater treatment plant in the current city limits. There you go. At the bottom left of the screen, in purple, you can see the wastewater treatment plant. At the upper right, you can see Gardner city limits. And you can see Waverly Road that runs down the middle of the map, and a little yellow dot, that is the location of the lift station. Slide 3 is a zoomed-in vicinity map that shows the location of this small parcel. It's 5,700 square feet next to Waverly Road. You can see it in red there. And then slide 4 is an even closer view of the lift station next to Waverly Road. It's the actual site plan. So just briefly, following the process that's outlined in the Kansas statute on August 19th, you adopted Resolution 95 requesting that the Johnson County Board of Commissioners approve the annexation. And then on September 19th, the Board of County Commissioners made the necessary findings approving the annexation. And now this ordinance is before you for your approval. And upon approval and publication of the ordinance, the annexation will take effect. And then the lift station may then be served by Gardner Energy. And the lift station is under construction, and it can start providing service relatively soon. And with that, I'll gladly take questions or comments.
Well, with the staff presentation done, would like to open up the floor for public comments if there is a member of the public that would like to speak about new business item number 1. Please step forward and be heard. With no one coming forward, who has questions for Mike?
Mike, this is formalization of the original intent that we had, the resolution that we had put forward to the Board of County Commissioners with intent to annex a month and a half ago, correct? 2 months ago.
Yes, this is just the necessary final step to approving the annexation.
Has the City of Edgerton corrected the site description for the property immediately around this particular site? Have they done this and approved it in their council chambers?
Yes.
They
They amended their, I believe it was a resolution, or no, the ordinance to exclude the site.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? I would entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 2437 for the annexation of real property on which the easement for the Waverly Road sanitary sewer lift station is located.
Second.
Motion Freeman, second Shute, that we consider adoption of ordinance number 2437 for the annexation of real property on which the easement for the Waverly Road sanitary sewer lift station is located. Roberts?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Vodovich?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Shute?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2437 passes. New business item number 2. consider providing continuing support to the Festival on the Trails for an expanded event.
Mayor and Council, this item came at the request from members of the Festival on the Trails Committee. Historically, the city has provided support for the event on Saturday. The committee is interested in extending it to Friday and wanted to secure support from the council to be able to extend the event to Friday evening.
Okay. There's no real presentation here, but I know that I recognize members of the Festival on the Trails Board in the audience. If this would be a good time for public comments if you wanted to make any, but it's not necessary.
So the support they're asking for is police, security?
Correct. The same
I don't really...
police and security, which is what we have been doing for them on Saturday.
And the cost to the city for overtime is?
We have not looked at it. We'll need to meet with them and kind of get the details of the time and what they're looking to do in terms of setup, and we can look at it at that point.
So we're not really deciding anything tonight, we're just considering?
We would say yes, that the city would be willing to provide police, and whatever barricades we would set up on Saturday, we'd set them up on Friday instead of Saturday.
I think that for the purposes of planning, the Festival on the Trails Board is just looking for acknowledgement and of continued support, even if it's going to be an expanded festival.
But it's not a resolution. There's not really
Not a
a
vote.
formal vote.
No.
It would be more of a discussion and a memorandum of understanding in an informal way.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody else have questions besides Larry? Is there anybody that isn't in favor of supporting the Festival on the Trails for an expanded Friday evening?
I mean, I would like to know the amount of the cost before I give my support to it. I think, as I recall, there was a pretty significant bill to the city. It seems like, I don't know, $18,000 or so in overtime, or am I mistaken?
Historically, we haven't tracked the expenses and attributed them to the festival in the past for the Saturday event. If you'd like for us to do that in the future, we could, but we historically have not tracked them. I just confirmed that with finance. We're not tracking it that way.
Chief, but we're not coding anything.
It just, again, this goes back to the same discussion we had about the cemetery support. That is, it seems like we ought to be able to put together numbers and charge it to an account such as economic development, if we want to go that route. I don't think it's right to just keep, siphoning off money off of the general fund to support activities that really, in my opinion, should be economic development activities and come from that fund.
Well, my question is there a, I'm sorry about that, don't mean to interrupt, but is there a budgeted item for Festival on the Trails within the law enforcement budget, for example?
No. The city has historically viewed this, and I think it's probably a good view, that it's an economic development opportunity because we bring people who are not necessarily our residents, but other residents from the area to our community who spend money with our businesses, and it's an opportunity for us to have a festival that we can grow and expand that could really be very good economic development opportunity.
I think it also speaks to quality of life in the city of Gardner. I can't remember anybody that is up here or in the audience that I probably haven't seen at a festival one time or another, along with family members.
Well, I mean, let me make it clear, I'm not speaking against the merits of Festival on the Trails. I think it's a wonderful event, and I think it does bring a lot of positive publicity to the city and brings people in that would not necessarily be here otherwise. I do agree with Larry to a certain extent that if we're going to budget, that if we're going to be supporting Festival on the Trails, I think we should have a line item within our budget to show that. I think